Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and welcome back to my Reusable Space program. This is Season 3, Episode 16? Yes, Episode 16. I had to check. This is back to our space tourism program as part of the Reusable Space program. And this is the SSTO we are launching, and we are sending 8 passengers up to the Mun Cruiser, which is scheduled to take a cruise to the Mun, and it's going to stay there in orbit for 5 days in orbit of the Mun before returning and sending the cruise home in an SSTO. And we are headed up to space, flying a nice SSTO trajectory. And I think one of the things I did early on with SSTOs is I tried to climb too fast, and that is not the most optimal way to head into space. So, that was a warning there because I was using physical time warp. And as I mentioned in a couple episodes ago, is I've upgraded the game. So some of my presets have reset, and that's okay. Alright, so here is the Mun Cruiser. And normally I would have the SSTO do the docking maneuvers, but for now I'm going to have the Mun Cruiser itself do the docking. Or not the docking, the rendezvous. I mean, it'll do the docking too. But I'm actually going to have the Mun Cruiser do all the docking. I suppose I should come up with some sort of cruise ship-esque name for this. I don't really know what to name it. But if you would so much like, put a message in the comments of what I could possibly name this. It's essentially a cruise ship in space. I imagine there are six passenger cabins, and there's some more crew amenities. Room service, all sorts of stuff like that. I mean, I guess the room service is provided by the pilots, as I didn't really send up any extra crew. Maybe that's something I should look into. But either way, there are room for an extra 24 Kerbals in the space cruiser. I will only be sending up 20 Kerbins on this initial space tourism mission. And the Mun Cruiser has rendezvoused with the SSTO, and now they just need to do a bit of docking. I'm actually going to use the Mun Cruiser is going to do the docking, and it's just going to dock its nose right into the SSTO, as opposed to using the not inline, but the in-bay version of the docking ports. I am using the mat lounge method for docking, where each ship targets the docking ports and then has face towards target, and then just getting the directions on the nav ball for them to head to each other. And there we are. We are now docked, and all I have to do is transfer crew, and we will transfer the 8 passengers from this SSTO over to the Mun Cruiser. And a quick undocking. And there we are. Now, I want to bring up let me go back. Normally, it would take 3 SSTOs to fully get the Mun Cruiser full. And we're not going to fill it. We're still going to do 3 SSTO missions. But this next mission's only going to bring up 4 Kerbals. And it's going to bring up 4 very special Kerbals. But first, this is we are going to go ahead and land this. And this is the first version of the SSTO for the space tourism. There is an upgraded version. No, I take that back. This is the upgraded version. I can tell there's a physical time warp warning thing. I think I finally turned it off this time. The way I can tell this is the newer version is it has the air brakes on it. And here we are. I'm trying to do better with landing and getting to the KSC. And as you can see, I feel like I'm doing better this time. So I won't have to fly back quite so far. There is one thing I've noticed I need to do, and I will talk about that in just a minute. There's still a little bit of cleanup I need to do in this save, as there are some boosters that are in the water that need to be recovered, as well as a bunch of boosters in orbit that need to be brought down. I think I'm going to start doing that. Is at least once per episode, I'm going to bring a booster down. Alright, I am still a little bit high, but not too terribly high. All I need to do is turn around and land at the KSC. Alright. If I would have turned a little sooner, I probably could have done this without reigniting the engines. But that's okay. I should have... Well, not should have. I do have plenty of fuel to fly. Getting rid of all that so I can line up on the runway. If I were smart, I would just keep my glide approach what it is, because I'm really good right now. And I have landed too far down the runway. And what I really need to add to all the SSTOs are drogue chutes to help slow down so I do not keep flying off the end of the runway. But nothing broke. We are back down. And the SSTO can now be refueled and bring more Kerbals up to orbit to rendezvous with the Mun Cruiser. Right, shut the engines down. And now we can park there for now. We got a little bit of an airport. It's a little bit congested. I really need to clean that up. I really wish there was more places to park aircraft and STOs at the KSC. But here are our next 4 passengers. This is the Highway 47 crew. So this is the little curb car, and they can drive right over to their SSTO. Now, they're not going to use the Space Tourism SSTO. We have our own little Highway 47 SSTO that we've been using for a little while. Alright, guys. This is, of course, Dracofunk, Kerbal. Come on. No. No. Okay. I forgot how to climb. There. That's fine. Alright. Skrodric Kerman. Skrodric remembers how to climb. Let's see. Vomit Kerman. And, of course, Shaggy B. Kerman. And Shaggy B is going to ride up in the cockpit. And let's restart the 4 engines. Oh, come on, where is it? Oh, I'm going to have to move the fuel tanker to do... I hope you got permission to enter the runway from traffic control. Jeffsky, what are you doing there? Just hang it. Okay, that's fine. Alright. And now we taxi out onto the runway. Now, Freddie Kerman asking the control tower for permission to enter the runway and get clearance for takeoff to fly into space. All right. Let's just stop here at the end of the runway and clear for takeoff. All right. Doing our last minute checks, throttle up. If I would have went through all the checklist, I would have remembered to turn on SAS before starting the taxiway, but I did not. And here we go. And we have liftoff. And, like, why am I pancaking around? It's because I didn't turn SAS on. There we go. Alright. And I do not need to climb so aggressively. What's most important is picking up as much speed as possible while the engines are their most efficient. And that is going to give me some atmospheric heating, some plasma, but that's okay. Alright, engine switch mode, switch on the other rocket engines. They're there anyway, might as well use them. And then I can shut off the main engines and we can just go to the more efficient rocket engines, although they're not really that much more efficient than the Rapier engines. Alright, now this time I am going to let the SSTO do all the rendezvous. So I'm actually circularizing up to a 200 kilometer orbit. Alright. I realize now that this is not the most efficient SSTO. I should be using different air intakes, and I really don't need 4 air intakes. In reality, I probably only need 2. And I could probably get away with 1. And also those little fuel tanks on the bottom, I really should make them more aerodynamic. But that is for the next version of this SSTO. And it has plenty of fuel to do the rendezvous, and there we are. Alright, and have the Mun Cruiser actually do the docking. Having a little bit of problem actually targeting that vessel, but that's okay. Once I get a little closer, I should be able to target the docking port. For right now, I'll just dock visually. The one thing about the Mun Cruiser's design is I do not have a lot of roll authority. Like, I have some, but I don't have enough, and it's because I don't have any RCS thrusters on the outside. right. And there we are. We are docked. And just transfer all the Highway 47 crew over to the Mun Cruiser. And that's going to be it for today. And we will take this out next time. But if you stay for this long, thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.